Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Journey Success Stories podcast. I'm Jennifer Sheffel, your host, and with me today, you guys were in for a real treat. I have Buehrle and Pete McDowell. Welcome, guys.
Hi, Jen.
Hello, I'm so happy to be here.
We are very blessed to have you with us. So, for those of you who do not know, they are the partners for Action Coach Columbus. But first, if this is your first time to the show, make sure that you like and subscribe because you want to get notifications every time we have a new episode drop, just like this one. So today, Peg and Pete are going to tell you about their journey to business ownership, challenges along the way, opportunities that they've had, and of course, how did they get to working together and how they've grown their team into a true firm. So definitely you guys are in for a true treat. Welcome, guys, to the show. I would love for you to enhance everyone as to what has that business ownership journey been like for you.
Well, for us, it's been 20 years. We just had a party the other night to celebrate 20 years of partnership, which is a great thing. And I thank you, Peg, for being my partner for all those years. It's been wonderful.
Oh, thank you, Pete. And it was funny. Jen, obviously we're on this podcast because you were brilliant enough to know that we were at a moment of reflection of
Yes.
20 years. And we did get up with our clients, our community, our family, our friends. And the one thing that I said is, I think that really helped. The one thing that really helped us, and I said this before there, and I want to just repeat it here, is you do something for 20 years like business ownership and really founding the business. So it's not just like buying a business, it's founding and creating it from the ground up. And I'm going to say thank you to Pete. I didn't thank you that night, which is so funny. Like I was like, I thought thanks everybody but Pete.
Implied. Yeah.
Implied. But it really, the journey with a partner that is really aligned with your direction, your energy, and your values, it helps so much, and it made it so much fun. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. And it was so cool to see the community come together and even to have them share their stories. So, if you guys can tell everyone what is one story, and I can probably guess because I know many of your stories, because I know your clients personally. But tell me, what is one of the biggest stories that's very near and dear to your heart?
Oh, boy, there's a couple of them. I'm thinking of our first client, and that's one. And then
You go ahead and tell that then. You tell whatever one is yours, and I'll tell you mine. Whichever, because I think both of those are good. So maybe
I started my business a year before Peg, 21 years ago. And I had done seminars, workshops for prospective business clients and had mixed success with working with other coaches. And I did an event at the Dublin Chamber, and Peg said, I'm going to bring a half a dozen people. And sure as heck, all of them came walking in that door, and we signed a client right out of that meeting. And the gentleman was really nice, and he obviously needed both of us. So I called Peg up and said, look, we have a client. She said, what are you talking about? I said, well, we got a client together. We have to work with them together. She's like, okay. And that was our first client. And we went and met him together and coached him together. And that was our very first combined operation. And within a couple of months, we decided we'll just throw everything together, all of it. We're all in.
That
and
is
it's
beautiful.
we've never looked back.
That's neat.
I don't think I actually knew that part of the story.
Yep.
No, that is exactly how it happened. And I remember exactly where I was. I remember the moment, and I thought, but this is your client. And he goes, not anymore. We're sharing it. It was unheard of. So that was a good story, Pete. I think one of my favorite, memorable, most impactful moments that changed lives. And Pete, you don't know this because I texted this person yesterday and thanked them for the wonderful video that they had sent. And he said, my Lord, it's the least we could do. You changed our lives. And it was, we were each coaching. So we were both in the companies of MA Design, and at the time, the president, Mark Daniels, and Ed's Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electric. And at the time, her name is now Julie Daniels. I'm giving it away, but Julie Borman, and we were coaching their businesses individually, and Pete and I decided to take them on a boat ride, and to fix them up and shoot. It was 15 years ago, I think, Pete, and they got married.
They got married pretty soon. Yeah.
They got married, and then we helped them with each of their business separately for the next succession to pass over to the next leaders internally and to sell it. And now they are retired, living happily ever after with each other. So that's probably
a nice place in Florida. So they've done really well.
That's one of the biggest stories. I just told somebody that today. They're like, I had no idea. I'm like, yes.
So that was one of the stories that I figured you would tell.
Yes.
Because it's so adorable the way that it all happened. And yes, when I saw them come across the screen and their video, I was like, oh, I just love it so much.
Yes.
So what is something that the business has gifted you that you never expected from the business?
I think one of them is a sense of freedom. You get to work with people you love.
Yes.
Where some of us, Peg, you did. I know I did. I worked in a big corporation, big oil company, and you didn't always like everybody, but you had to get along with everybody no matter what, right? And you get to work with people you actually love, and when they succeed, we succeed, and it's really nice. So you work with a small number of very important people for years, and it's not a 2-3 month thing, it's years.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that one, Pete. And in mine, this was the thing. So Action Coach is a franchise. So we were able to do a lot of due diligence, talk to other owners, other successful people doing this. And nobody told me this, including Craig and Annette, who were our master licensees, is it made me a better parent. So when I started doing the franchise, my children were 4 and 1. They're now 25 and 22. And it taught me leadership lessons that translate to parenting lessons, which translated into me showing up as a better person, which impacted my family a lot. And I had no idea that amount of impact. So when I talked to somebody, we have a new client that just joined us yesterday. And I said, hey, you don't know this, but he has young kids. And I go, you're going to be a better parent.
That's awesome. I think it's helped me too. My kids are 10 years older. But it's helped me a lot with relationships with the three of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I can honestly say I've told many people that I wish I would have had some of the trainings and education that I have had as a coach when the kids were littler. Because instead of the screaming and yelling or being present, where really you're just existing, it would have been a whole different ballgame. It would have been just, and it wouldn't have been as surface level as I'm sure it probably came across. So absolutely.
Yes.
The other thing I wanted to say is that we have rules of our partnership that we ask all our clients to have rules about their business too. How do we treat each other? How do we treat clients? How do we play in this game? And one of ours is we support each other in everything we do. And I got an email that I almost deleted quite a few years ago, and it was from some company in Istanbul wanting a proposal to come over and do some training. And I showed it to Peg, and she's like, well, I'll just send something off to him, see what happens. Okay. And within a few weeks, we were on a plane flying to Turkey, and we stayed there for 8 days and did a whole bunch of training with a bunch of business owners and coaches. And we had to create our own material. We couldn't use Action Coach material. And it was a really good experience, and it kind of laid a foundation for some of the leadership and management training we still do.
That's cool. I love that. So that was going to be that's a great segue into my next question, because that's actually one of the things I was going to say, because something that people don't know about the two of you is, yes, you're business partners, but when a deer decided to hit Pete's car, like, who was there? It was Peg.
I remember that. I remember getting that car. You were and it was cold, and
it was late.
You live an hour and 20 minutes away from our office. And I got up and said, I'm coming. I'm going to come and pick you up. I had to pick you up. You were like in the middle of nowhere.
Oh yeah, that car wasn't going anywhere. It was, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, and then even when you had the surgery, Pete,
Yeah, for sure.
Peg was there.
Yeah.
So this is
Absolutely.
not your normal business partnership.
True.
So what has been the most touching experience that the two of you have had in this journey? Because it is more than just a business partnership.
I'm going to go. The journey with me, then touching, is that Pete said it before. He said, my kids are 10 years older. And I always said, Pete is my best coach. When I need help, I go to him, not only in my coaching, but in my life. And Pete has given me more wisdom about how to raise my children. And I remember I was working quite a bit. So as you're running a business and you're building, you're all out. You're just flying all out. And I was missing things with the kids. And he said, don't do that. Don't miss those things with those kids. And I listened to him. And then as the kids were growing up, I'm like, well, what do I do with this? And he'd be like, well, why don't you have Allie do this, who's my oldest, or Lauren do this? So I think that has been instrumental as him being my coach in life and in business.
We, you obviously have ups and downs in a business, right?
Yes.
And as a human being, you're having ups and downs through your week and your month too. And if you have a partner that's there when you need support, that helps a ton. It's helped me a lot.
Yeah.
And I remember when we came back we were somewhere overseas. That might have been Istanbul. We came back to New York City
I remember that.
and we were standing in a line, and the line was like 3 hours long. And it was just so emotional. We're exhausted. And you hadn't eaten in about 8 days.
Yeah.
And it was just awful. I was just really glad I wasn't standing there by myself.
That was a big one.
That was terrible.
I had not eaten because when we went over to Istanbul, we're presenting in separate ballrooms. We're not together. And we're doing it for 8 days with interpreters and no breaks and
Wow.
stress. And it was new material presenting, and the stress, I just couldn't eat. And I was just exhausted. I'd lost my voice. It was tough. And it was like, Pete, if I was by myself at that moment, that would have been harder.
So that's one of the most precious things, Peg, you had actually mentioned to me the other night, is things have been different lately just because you've been presenting more on your own. And the two of you are so used to sharing that limelight and being able to just have the banter. And it's so fun to be in front of the room together. So, how has that shift been for you as you've been presenting more and doing workshops on your own?
Well, for me, it's neat because like the other day, yesterday, in fact, I'm presenting on my own without Pete. And I'm like, okay, Pete, give me the bullet points. You were sitting there. You had so much. Like we literally did this yesterday. I go, I've got 5 minutes to get this in. Help me design it. Help. So
5 minutes.
5 minutes, just give me 5 minutes. And like, you helped me design a lot. So you're there for me on the front end. And then I go off and I do it, and it is lovely, but it's different. And it's, and I do, it's like, oh, these people are great. Will be fun. And then Pete, you and I get to do something together. And I'm like, oh, this is a little more fun, a little less. It's a lot easier to be with someone than on your own. So I respect those people who have that journey by themselves because it's tough.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely not for the faint of heart.
No.
But it is something when you start to have that bandwidth issue because you're so awesome that you do have to, go do your thing. You go do your thing, because it's for the best of the firm.
Yes.
Right.
So, what has been the number one challenge that the two of you have had over the 20 years? By the way, let's not overshadow that. How many action coach businesses have even made it 20 years?
That is
a percentage.
We've got to find that out. I don't know.
I feel like it might only be a handful.
I had a class of maybe 15 people, and I'm it.
I'm already the last of the Mohegans out of mine.
Yeah.
So, okay. So number one challenge over the past 20 years.
Well, I think for me, Peg, we had the 2008 crisis, right? A lot of our clients had no choice but to cut back on coaching. Well, we work with them anyway. and we got through it, but it was scary. It was very scary. And then when COVID happened, we're like, oh man, we're going to do this again. And of course, we got through that just fine. And now we do a lot of Zoom. So it actually worked out for the better in the long run. But in the short run, it was gut wrenching. It was just.
Pete, I'm glad you brought those up, because I was thinking of, like, those were critical, and that's what makes us better. I've got to tell you, those were critical situations where we're like, what do we do? I remember I was on a beach in 2020 on vacation, and Pete, you were in Columbus. And I said, oh my gosh, they're shutting things down. And we started coaching, and we had to tell our clients to stop coaching. They are so like, okay, what should we do? And I'm like, you're not producing money. You can't pay us. You got to stop, but we're going to keep coaching, but you got to be healthy when we're out of this. And that was those were both two really tough things. But then when we coach business owners, it makes us better because we've been there. We know, we're not just saying in theory, we're saying we remember the crisis. We remember when you think it's all going to stop. It's all part of it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I know the action coach way, of course, as to goal setting, but how do you guys set goals for your own business? What is that process? What does it look like?
Well, one thing we started I think it's 2.5 years ago now, we have a board. So we meet with the owners of other firms in different cities, and we're going to Chicago in a few weeks, which would be fun. There's always a great steak to be had. And we present where we're headed and how we're doing. And then here's a couple things that we were thinking about fixing or changing. And we get feedback. And sometimes we follow their advice and sometimes we don't. But it always makes us better, because sometimes it's things like, well, you really do need to change that price. And you need to do it immediately.
Or you need to do this product that you haven't been doing.
Right.
And we went back and calculated the amount of growth we've had because of that. And one of our goals was always to get over 1 million. Our firm produces over $1 million in revenue a year. And now our goal is to go to 2 million with a stop at 1.5. And it has gotten us hundreds of thousands of dollars extra because of their advice. And so that is really what I recommend, is either you have a coach or you have a board or you have a round table or all three.
Because it's too easy for us to let ourselves off the hook.
Exactly.
Oh, fact. So let's talk about roundtable. You guys have one that's also coming up.
Yes.
But these are so much fun. And there's so many different aspects to this roundtable. It's not just a roundtable. Let's be very honest. It's a lot of client retention. It's brainstorming. It's all sorts of things. So share with everyone what you guys have done over the years for client retention and even just value add services that you guys offer in the firm.
Well, Peg, if I might, I think you really got this thing started. You have a couple of things that they become systematic. You do something called the President's Roundtable about 3 times a year, where you pick a topic and then get a group of people together. And not everybody could come every time, but it's a way for all the clients to be in the same room at the same time, and they meet each other. And a lot of them have done business with each other.
Yes.
And then once a year, we have them all up to the lake house here, right here, and get them up here and have them meet each other again and eat and drink and, all that kind of stuff. And just spend time with them and get to know them better. And they always learn something from another business owner, always.
And Pete, I think you said it all in the community that we create. And so we always want to be your resource for your success, personally, professionally, and your family. So for example, I was biking with one of my clients this morning, and I happen to know their children, and their children are helping my children help find jobs, and they're coming back from their children are coming into Columbus, and I'm like, let's sit down and let's strategize on how to help them. So it's not just about helping the business, but it's helping them personally and taking the time to make everything in their world successful and helping along the way. I think that, and we become part of them. So we're not just working with the business owner. We always say we're the team's coach. We're part of your family. We're part of your team. Yes. We're here to help. And I think to your
That's a good
point, Pete, we started it and I didn't think, oh, I'll keep a client longer. I was doing it. I want to help our clients. So it just happens that when you do that, guess what? They don't leave.
Yeah.
Well, they get to know each other, and it's helped some of our clients with sons or daughters that need a job, and you make a connection, and poof, they get a job. It
Mhm.
happens.
Yeah. Well, the community is the next piece that I want to highlight because you guys have created one of the most beautiful communities I have ever seen and witnessed. And it's way more than business. It's truly enhancing your community, where you live, where you play, and it's making lives better,
Mhm.
and not just for your clients, but all the people that they touch. So tell me a little bit more about your guys' community and kind of enhance a little bit on what you guys already kind of talked about.
Okay.
Go ahead, Peg.
Want me to go? Well, it
Yeah.
was funny because before this podcast, I got to have lunch with my dad, and he was at our gathering, which was 2 days ago, and met all our clients. And he said something just so obvious, but yet, sometimes the obvious needs to be said. He goes, everybody in that room is so kind. Everybody in that room is so lovely. And I said, Dad, we create a community of like-minded people that want to
Mhm.
help others and help others' success. And we all want to grow together to get to the next level. And the journey is not alone. And I think we attract the people that have that same vision, and we attract people who want to have that vision. So they want to go on that journey. So we brought on a few clients recently, and we call them youngins, meaning they're in business 5 or 6 years, and
Youngins.
youngins.
You know that. Yeah.
That's my words. They're
You
young.
don't call them that. Yeah.
No, it doesn't. But they're young. They're young in their journey, and they are like, oh my gosh, people are so. I want to say, what's the opposite of scarcity?
Abundant.
Abundance.
Abundance. Thank you.
Abundance.
They're
Yeah.
so abundant with their time, their knowledge, their
Mhm.
resources. And I think that's what really it's all about. It's the abundance mentality.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hmm.
Pete, anything to add?
No, just that's one of action's points of culture, abundance,
Absolutely.
meaning versus scarcity, which limits everybody's opportunities. Abundance means, well, if I know somebody that might be able to help you, I'm just going to make that connection and maybe I'll learn something too.
Yeah.
But if I can help you, it doesn't matter how, whether it being a coach or making an introduction that helps you.
Yes.
Peg's daughter needs a dog trainer. Well, I checked in with Cliff. He's going to get me one and it'll be a good one. There's no doubt.
That's how we do it.
Yeah.
The coolest thing, though, too, to talk about your guys' community and what has been built. And I know that it's also happened organically because of the like-mindedness.
Mhm.
Even when I walked in on Wednesday and George saw me, he instantly gave me a hug, as he always does,
Mhm.
put his arm around me. How's business? How's things? And I said, George is going so well. I'm so blessed. It's absolutely phenomenal. Jen, I'm so happy to hear that. And then comes the dad advice, right?
I love it.
And it's just so amazing. And it's just so cool because whether it's him or Aaron or Cliff or even Patty, like it's just, they all watch out for you. And they only see me maybe a couple times a year, but it doesn't matter. It's like time doesn't matter. And it's still part of that network. And so kudos to both of you for what you've built over the 20 years. And thank you for having me be part of this beautiful community that you have both built and lifting up my business and really showing me how in the hell to start a business because I meant it. I don't know where I would be without you guys.
Thanks, Jen.
Thank you. Thank
So
you for
I
being a
do
part
have
of us. I just want to say
what?
thank
Sorry.
you for being a part of us.
Oh,
We
thank
get
you.
to
It's
have you
my
too.
absolute pleasure.
Absolutely.
So I have a couple rapid fire questions. You guys ready?
We're ready.
All right. What is the key to success for you?
Relationships, build them fast and keep them forever.
Okay, I like that answer. Mine, Pete, actually, I think that's the best answer, but I got to do something different. I would say drive and persistence. You're
Ooh,
not giving up even when it gets hard. Just know that in a positive state of mind, that positive things will happen, even when things aren't going well.
yeah, I can't even yeah, that
That's
is
good.
so entirely true.
One foot in front of the other every day.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's rough. All right. What is your one piece of advice for other business owners?
Hire well. Sorry, Peg.
No, I love that because it goes right hand in hand. I love what you just said.
Very careful. And hire well.
Said hire well, and I love that. And I was going to say, you need to have the right team members on your team, and if they're not, do something about it immediately. Don't wait.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, you know Becky and you know Ron and you know Michelle and they're just awesome.
Yeah.
And they fit. They fit.
Yes. Yes.
So
Yes. Which is why I thanked them at the end of my video, and I made sure I thanked them all because it's part of the whole team for sure.
Yeah.
All right. What is a book or podcast that you're reading or listening to right now?
You want me to go first, Pete? I just finished Elon Musk book, the autobiography by Walter Isaacson. Walter also wrote the book by Apple founder Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs.
I thought it was outstanding, and I love listening to I love listening to biographies. It's a biography, and I love it because it's all the lessons learned of the do's and don'ts. And Elon Musk's book, I had somebody who said I didn't want to read it. I had one of my clients say, he goes, I don't like Elon. And I go, that's not the point. Listen to it. And he listened to it and he goes, you were 100% right. 100% right. So that's my,
fascinating.
Yes. Pete, what's one of yours?
Peg, you got me interested in Phil Knight's biography, and it's fantastic. And Phil is a very different person than Elon. Very team oriented, and he kept the same business partner and core team for years.
Shoe Dog is his book.
Yeah, it's a wonderful story. It's just a great story. I love that book.
Peg, I thought for sure it would be like some kind of like real crime or something or
Oh, well, then I've got, actually, what I'm really, so then I listen to podcasts of Real Crime, which is Mandy Matney's, who I love Mandy Matney, and hers is True Sunlight, which used to be the Murdoch Murders. And then I do, I'm reading a fantasy series book. So I do all three. People always say, how are you doing so much? And I said, I exercise a lot and I listen to books. And
so I'm reading a book about the fire in 64 AD in Rome that Nero was the emperor at the time. So it's pretty interesting.
That's interesting.
Yeah. But it's not business. It's totally off it, but it's good.
I love to talk about also the non-business ones though too, because then it really tells people a little bit about you as a person, as what do you like to read personally too?
My business coach, Donnie Hartwell, she told me a long time ago, she goes, you're doing 100% of business books. I need you to do others. And it was the best advice she ever did. So because I enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's so, not that I don't enjoy the business too, but if you're all business, you're missing that balance.
Yes. I got that same advice not that long ago. And Donnie is such a treasure. What?
You don't want to become a dull boy.
No.
Yeah, no. I mean, that was my background, right? Accounting. No, I'm kidding. All right. So here's a fun question. You ready? If you had a little bit of magic dust to sprinkle on one part of the business, what would it be?
I've got one. For me, it would be the marketing end. We have a marketing person that we're working with, Gerald. I wish we had found him a long time ago. He's so good and he's so smart and he's so knowledgeable when it comes to marketing. I love working with him, and I wish we would have done that. If I had magic, I wish we would have done that, because we've made a lot. Well, who hasn't made a lot of mistakes in marketing? So that's magic. I wish, gosh, if we could have gotten there sooner.
No, that's a good one. I like that one. And the only other thing I could add to that is if it's a firm, finding a great coach. Now, we were very fortunate to have Michelle come on board. She was a client of Peg's, and then she decided to come on board as a coach after she got great results in the business she was running. And that's worked out great, but it's not easy to find another coach. It's just not. So.
No, I'm in the middle of that right now. So, and literally before this, I had a group interview. So
Good for you.
there's a lot. Yes. All right. So before we get into the final question of the day, in case someone is listening from our Columbus area, how can they get a hold of you guys so they can enhance their business, learn more, and contact you?
We have Pete's phone number as our contact on our website. So you can go to our website at actioncoachcolumbus.com. You're going to see a prompt that comes in and says, do you want more? So there's that. That's probably the best way is Action Coach Columbus. We think that's easy enough if you're listening to it. And then you can follow the prompts, and that's how people get in touch with us.
Awesome. All right. So the final question of the day. Okay, not of the day, of this podcast. Anyway, What is most inspiring to you today?
Oh, it's just a good reminder of what I'm grateful for.
So mine is Pete and I got surprised by our coach, Michelle, during our anniversary party. She had asked all our clients to do videos, and she presented it to us. You were there, Jen, and we had a 15-minute presentation of the last 20 years. And that was probably the most inspirational thing. And I just looked at Pete and I go, I want to cry, but I'm in front of all these people and we're about to talk. And I said, I got to watch this video when I can really watch it. And it was inspiring, overwhelming, and so grateful for that. So that was probably my most inspiring moment.
Aw. Well, you guys have built a phenomenal group in business, and thank you for all that you guys have both done. This has been absolutely phenomenal. Of course, all of you who are watching, if this is your first time to the show, make sure that you like and subscribe. And most of all, save this because you'll want to come back to it and listen to it time and time again and think more about gratitude, abundance, and community, because those were some definite buzzwords that you guys had along the way.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, thank you so much for being here. And thank you, Peg and Pete. We greatly appreciate you and everything you've done and have been a part of the Action Coach community.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Jen.
you. Thank you. It was great being invited here. We are honored.
My pleasure.